the name Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clearly mentioned in the Bible.
Right on.
Thank you.
A couple of the sources you had that you used earlier, were we able to turn to that John MacArthur study Bible you had?
Sure.
There's
There you are, sir.
something in 1 Kings 9:1 that I think is relevant. It seemed like when you went there, you said that there was like 700,000 scribal errors, I think is what you said.
I did not say that.
When you were there. But you said
no,
it mentioned about it.
Can I respond to what I said?
Well, I was just going to see if you could read this and then you could comment on it.
I don't know if, I
From
don't
the
know.
source you used in regards to textual corruption and things like that, because I think it'll be helpful. Do you remember what you said, though?
It was
do.
something about the errors, correct?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
Okay.
the difference between 700 and 7,000 is what I was mentioning, not that there are
Oh, the
700,000.
chariot number? Okay.
Yeah, the chariots,
Okay.
how many people David killed. It's right there if you want to.
Gotcha.
I got
Okay.
it highlighted. And
All right. Okay. Well, there's something from the MacArthur Study Bible.
Okay.
That's good clarification.
What would you like me to read?
That when it talks about the sources of the Book of the Kings,
Where do you want me to read?
the thing is, I was looking for the page. I got the digital version. I think it's page 856 or so, but I'm going to
Do you
read
want me
from
to look
some
it
of
up
it.
from 856?
Yeah, if I could read from...
I mean, what verse is it under? I can look it up.
It's in the beginning of where it talks about the Chronicles sources. Because here's what
I mean, I'm
MacArthur...
confused. So,
Yeah,
so
what's-
do you want me to give me the verse
Well,
and I can look it up?
Let me read it to you, and then I'll,
Well, I mean,
see.
I don't know what you're reading off of. Can we look at the book?
Well, yeah,
please?
the Chronicle sources. Here's what it says, though.
I'm sorry,
Hold on.
From the MacArthur Study Bible.
Is it from that book?
Yeah, but I have the
And we're-
digital copy, so it's
we're
hard to
trying to
find
get
it in
into
his
that
copy.
page.
Verse and chapter would it be? Because I can
He can
turn
pull
to
it
it.
up.
That's not an issue.
I think it's in the beginning of the Book of Chronicles where it says the Chronicles sources.
We don't have time to do this. If
What
you want to look it up and give it to me, then
Okay.
I'll take a look at it.
All right, well,
Thank
let me
you.
read what it says. Although
Can
relatively...
you actually look it up? I mean,
yes, but I have it
I
digital.
don't trust digital copies.
Why
I like
not?
that's why I brought all these books with me. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read you what it says, and I'll try to find it in your copy, okay? Maybe
Okay.
I could do it
Go for it.
during the discussion.
Go ahead.
Although relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying Scripture, they can be identified and corrected. Thus, the original inerrant content of the Bible has been preserved. That's from the MacArthur Study Bible that you used to try to show that it had corrupted sources.
Did you want me to
Yeah.
respond or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
used it to show corruption, right? Now, I'm going to try to find it in here, but it is in here because I have Logos. So I looked it up when you were talking. But go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll concede that one for you. No problem. I thought you were going to give like a particular verse, which I wanted to look into. But you're saying a general statement. So you're saying MacArthur is saying there are scribal errors.
The MacArthur Study Bible you used
Yes. So
says that they can be identified and corrected. Do you agree with
sure.
that?
No, I
Oh,
don't.
okay, but you use it as a source to show scribal
Can
errors.
I speak if you don't mind? I'll let you speak, and when I start speaking, you start cutting me out, right? So again, the fact that there are scribal errors till today, they have not been changed. Even in my Bible right here, I can find those, and scholars will even debate what the actual verse is supposed to say. And that's why NIV and other translations have been rejected by most Christians that I've spoken to that have stuck to the KJV, even when NIV tried to get rid of those scribal errors, saying that no, that these corrections are wrong. So that doesn't make sense. What we can agree on, that there are scribal errors.
It's page
That's-
514. I found
Thank you.
it. Right there above that box.
Yeah.
But I think it's disingenuous to try to prove the Bible with a corrupted. You're saying it's corrupted, but the very source you use says they can be identified and corrected. So do you agree with your source you brought today?
Again, this is let me answer you one more time.
Do you see where it is in the book too?
I
just want
read
to
it.
make sure.
I see it.
Okay,
I
that's
see it.
good.
Don't-
So now
don't-
you trust
don't-
digital.
don't-
That's good.
I don't. I still don't. That's why I'm looking at the source that you showed me, right? Now, again, to say that McCarthy has an opinion, he has many opinions that I think even you and me might disagree with him on. But the fact that he points out in his study Bible that these errors do exist, that's something that can be identified, that can be verified against manuscripts, not an opinion of MacArthur.
They can be identified and corrected, is what it says. You see where it says
Well,
corrected
Once
there?
again, it could be corrected, but even those corrections then are rejected by other scholars, just like the NIV corrections were rejected by the. No, don't try to. Let me finish.
I'm allowed to shake my
Relax.
head, sir.
No. But
I can shake
see
my
what
head
you're
all
trying to-
day.
Let me finish what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
the fact that MacArthur feels that he could correct them still stands to the fact that every Bible that we are reading today, that I have my hands on, is either disputed by other Christians or still contain those errors. So it has not been corrected. Now, when you start
The last line, could you just read that last line on top of the box? The very last line.
Sure.
where it says
Although
thus.
relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scriptures that can be identified and corrected, thus the original content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I do not agree with that statement.
Gotcha.
As
Okay.
it's an
That's fine.
opinion.
That's fine.
As
You're allowed to
it's an
say
opinion.
that.
Thank
I
you.
respect that.
Thank you.
But I just want to point out you misuse your sources.
Didn't
Now,
we make
do
this
not
an
misuse-
authority earlier?
I did not. That was
Yes,
the NET.
he did.
Did we make
it was not this. It was the NET Bible
Now let's
that
go
we're
to
talking
James
about authority.
Dunn.
No, hold on.
No,
Hold on. Let me finish
go.
now because you
Hold on.
can't just roll over me. No.
Hold on.
Well,
Right?
it already happened. It already
Yeah,
happened.
you're not rolling over anybody, bro.
hold on.
Calm
That's just
down.
the first roll.
Hold on, Cap.
Don't flatter
Cap,
yourself.
You
all
made
right?
a point. Let him at least.
Thank you.
All
But
right.
I swear you
Again,
made that
again.
an authority earlier.
No, the issue of authority was the NIT Bible,
No,
which
no,
was
no, no,
NET.
no.
That's an NET.
NET.
It was the scholar thing.
No,
You were saying scholars.
I mean, you can listen. You can look up the video later, but this is the one that we were discussing about the 25 scholars in regarding the authority. I can show you the verse
Okay.
that I read from
I'll
it. That's
take
okay.
your word on it, but I
MacArthur
thought
is
this was like a
no
whole thing
doubt
about scholars not having authority or having authority, and you were
yeah,
giving authority.
for sure.
Okay.
Again, and scholars will hold opinions. That's
Okay.
one thing, and none of us will say that we agree with every opinion. In fact, Avery threw this under the bus when he brought up the two different ages. You did, yeah,
Hold
you
on,
did.
hold on. I
You did.
understand what you're saying. You are allowed to disagree.
Let me finish.
With your own source.
Let
I
me
understand.
finish.
I just
Go
want to
ahead.
point
Let
that
me
Go ahead.
finish.
Everybody
Now,
quiet. Thank
when
you.
Avery first came to us, he brought this, and in front of Sneeko, and this video is online, when I brought
Right
this
here,
out.
brother. Me. Avery's over there. You already had your time. Let's
Listen,
go.
don't interrupt me. Thank you.
Please, let's
Yeah,
go.
please don't interrupt
But
me.
you're going to filibuster.
Please
Hold on.
don't
Stop,
interrupt me.
Stop.
When I had brought this up to Avery, he had said, this is MacArthur's opinion, right? I'm not taking people's opinions. You can look at the video. Sneeko's there. You can look at that. He threw MacArthur under the bus
Okay.
on that one, right? But here, when I'm saying that there's scribal errors that you can verify against manuscript, that is very different from the opinion of a scholar. Those are two different things.
Right. So
Thank
I'll take MacArthur over the Sheikh. Now, on page 28 of James Dunn's book that you brought as well, I bookmarked for you on page 28. If you could just read that top sentence of that second paragraph, please.
Sure.
This is about in relationship to worship of Jesus. What's it say?
Same to all, the fact that such worship language is used in reference to Jesus, even if only occasionally, is very striking. This would, I don't know, what, you gotta go to the bathroom or something, bro? This would have been entirely unusual and without precedence in the Judaism of the time. You want me to keep reading, or?
So,
You want me to keep
was
reading?
worship language used in relationship to Jesus? First question. Was it unusual? Second question. And then if you could read the last two sentences of that same paragraph.
Okay. It's interesting you want me to skip over a lot.
You
but
can read
okay.
the rest if you want.
Okay,
That's fine
no
with me. It's not
problem.
going to help you, though.
What last two sentences?
The
Where,
last two
where do you want me to
sentences of
start?
the same paragraph you just in that book for.
In fact, that this definition is in the wider Mediterranean world. The fact that this definition could be used as casual and as taken for granted, as it is in, I could be used.
1 Corinthians 1:2.
Yeah, I just has the number one. It didn't
It
mention.
means first.
Okay, gotcha. Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates that invocation of the Lord Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again, so do you want me to answer? According to this, yes. But in the same book that you read, and the same book that you're quoting, that you're now trying to jump away from what I read earlier, it says Christian worship as defined too simply as the worship of Jesus, for that would emerge as an inequity is taken seriously. It would soon become evident that Christian worship can deteriorate into what would be called Jesus-olatry, like idolatry. It is not simply into the worship of Jesus, but the worship that falls short of the worship of the one true God, the Father, the Lord of Jesus Christ. I use the term Jesus-olatry as an important sense parallel to that of idolatry. So if you're going to quote him, then continue
That
the
means
quote.
they worship
because-
Jesus as God.
Right?
That's what it's
So-
saying,
so-
though.
Hold
So
on,
that
let
would
him
be,
finish, let him
again,
finish. I
it's
hear
not.
you.
But you're going to
I hear you.
filibuster.
It's not.
I know what's
I'm not.
happening.
I'm reading it. I'm not filibustering anything, right? Here, as Israel prophets pointed out on several occasions, the calamity of idolatry is that of idols in substitution of God. So if somebody takes the worship of God, it would take away from Jesus, takes the place of God. The worship due is to God and absorbed it by the idol. The danger of Jesus-olatry is the place of one creator, God, Jesus absorbing the worship of the true one creator. Now, because he mentions.
Okay, let's
no,
respond to
let me
that.
finish.
Actually
Let me
respond to that, right? That was
finish.
kind of a long
Let
paragraph.
me finish
it was
the
a long
quote.
paragraph.
Okay,
What's
go ahead.
the is
It's
there
just-
a
it's just
build up
one-liner.
on it?
Yeah, it's
And
one-liner.
Okay, let's just
exclusionary?
show one liner
Again,
in there. Go ahead.
he goes through many ideas of whether they're worshiping or not, but in the conclusion, in the end, he says the first Christians did not worship Jesus as such. Worship is always and should always be offered to the glory of God the Father. That's the conclusion.
And that's why you got to
of
read
the
the
book.
whole book.
Yes, I did read the whole book.
Yeah.
And
you didn't
cannot-
have that section highlighted, did you?
I didn't have it
I
highlighted.
highlighted it for you. You're welcome.
I didn't highlight the whole book, but that doesn't mean I didn't read the whole book. When an author goes through a book, he presents this side and that side, but his conclusion is where the end is. Thank you.
That's not what
rolled
Dunn
over.
was doing there. Dunn
I
was
agree with
commenting on I Corinthians. That's what he was
Are we
doing
talking
there.
about Muhammad
Now-
in the Bible, or are we talking about worshiping
Oh, well, don't
Jesus?
bring Dunn if you
Hold
don't
on.
want to talk about Dunn. Now,
Let's-
the point to
We're
do,
on a
Find
prompt
Okay.
that
Hold
you're
on,
running
hold on,
from.
Hold on.
All right.
Let's find your points,
Okay,
Gab.
so the point was to show you misuse sources. Now, regarding this source,
I absolutely did not.
Surah 7, 157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet?
Surah?
Surah 7, 157, is Muhammad the unlettered prophet there?
Of the Prophet ﷺ, noting that the Jews and Christians find him ascribed in their scripture. Yes, Surah Al-Anfal, yes.
Okay. Does it say that the description of the unlettered prophet will be found in the Torah and the Gospel?
Let's bring up the surah, because I don't want to misquote things for you.
But no, it's the same place.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the actual surah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, can I? You want me to read it from the book?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Surah 7, 157 right
I
there.
got you.
And I just want to let everyone know you gave this to me when I was in San Diego, so
You're
thank you.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
Thank
It
you.
was a gift.
It's circle
So
round.
I
love
brought it to here for that reason.
Surah 7, verse
157.
157. And they are the ones who followed the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose description they find in their Torah and the Gospel. He commands them to do good and forbid them from evil, permits them of what is lawful and forbids them from what is impure, and relieves them from their burdens and the shackles that are bound them. Only those who believe in him, honor him, and support him. And I just want to clarify, honor him doesn't mean worship him. And follow the light and sent down to him will be successful. Yes.
Is John 1:19 one of those places where the unlettered prophet is described in the Gospels?
I don't believe so.
Then why do you have a video that says John 1:19? Is this
Okay.
you, fam?
That
you?
is me. Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
said that was the prophet they were waiting for?
Go ahead. Are you?
This is your video.
I'll let you
Where-
continue.
that's you, right?
If
You
you're done with the theatrics, I will respond
Well, it
to
literally
you.
says that is the prophet Muhammad, and it's from John 1:19.
I'll just wait for the theatrics to finish
Okay.
before I can
So
respond.
it's weird you said no, but your video says otherwise.
Can I-
So that's cotton.
Should I
that's cotton
respond,
740.
Get
So,
to the
so
point,
check this
Gab.
out.
There is no point. He just wants to run from the actual.
It's funny.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
figured you might do that, but that's why I had to have that screenshot because I knew you would deny it. Now, if that's the case, why does Peter apply this passage of Deuteronomy 18, the prophet that's being asked about in John 1:19, to Jesus? Why does Peter apply it to Jesus if it's supposed to be Muhammad according to the Sheikh in this video?
Are you done with your question?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. First thing, I may have held that view, but right now what I have come with is a discussion that you didn't even allow me to bring up, right? Secondly, I could be wrong in things and I could be right. I'll have to research that again before I come back to you. I'm not just going to here try to get clickbaits like you. Secondly, Peter taking John 1 has nothing to do with being the prophet Muhammad being mentioned in the Bible. That's not the prompt. The prompt is the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. Do you agree or disagree?
That's why I set you up with asking you if you identify Muhammad as the unlettered prophet. You've been set up by that initial question. And you told this poor man who said this was Jesus, you said, no, that was Muhammad. So you're going to go back and correct your
you
mistake
are
about
running
Park?
from the prompt.
You're running from
The
yourself.
prompt is very clearly the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible. Do you agree or disagree?
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
So I take it you
Get to
don't.
it.
No, we need to respond,
I
right?
want you to get to it with,
Okay.
with
Yes
the points of what
or
you're
no?
doing. Get
All
there.
right. So is
I'm not getting yes or
hold
no.
on, hold on.
Okay, we'll
I
go to
see
the next point
he's-
then.
He's
Deuteronomy
trickling in.
18?
Get to
Is
it.
Deuteronomy 18 describing the prophet Muhammad?
He did not answer my question. Is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible? That's the prompt. Yes or no?
You identified him as the unlettered prophet. Okay, so I see you don't want to do
Hold
Hold
that.
not
on.
responding, right?
Okay, now
But
hold on.
he
Let's
said
ask this
Muhammad is the
question.
unlettered
Let's
prophet.
ask this
So
question.
it's a title. So that is a name.
So that's where I want to say is what is Muhammad in the Bible in the text? Define what that is.
Very clearly. Is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible? Yes or no?
But in your prompt, what is the definition of Muhammad? Who is
The name
Muhammad?
Muhammad.
Just the name.
Just the name.
Does this name? What is?
Yes. Muhammad, yeah.
So I thought that would happen.
All right.
So if you remember when you were first asking,
He's not
me-
answering yes or no. I've asked like 6
Will
times.
you please stop interrupting me?
I'm not interrupting you
While
because
I
I asked you a
transition
question.
to a different topic since
I
you're running.
asked you a question. You're not
Please-
answering it. You're
please-
transitioning. Who's the one running?
Please stop interrupting
I
me so I can
asked
transition
the question
to
from
catch
the
you in
prompt.
something
No,
else.
you are running from the prompt.
No, I'm not.
The very clear question
Stop.
from the prompt.
What is the importance of the name Muhammad?
I'll explain it.
Okay.
He said it has to be the name Muhammad, but he himself already identified Muhammad as the unlettered prophet, thereby identifying Muhammad as the unlettered prophet. That's the line of questioning. You knew you were trapped because I have you here, so you wanna do it on a technicality, but that's okay because I planned for the technicality. So let's go to John 1 and we'll transition to is Jesus God because that's in the same No, it's this. No. Hold on, let me explain why. No, I'm gonna explain why because it's in the same passage that also refers to Muhammad, supposedly. It's the same place of John 1. So what I'm going to do is show you what John the Baptist was actually talking about.
Look, you're running like as if you're in a marathon. Very clearly, the prompt is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Bible, yes or no?
No.
That's
Well,
the
hold
prompt we're
but
on, not
to
Jesus
clarify,
being God.
I asked earlier what the importance was, right? And you said you would oblige the different directions
Sure.
of coming
You
in
did say
on.
that. I heard
You
her
did
ask
say
that.
Can he actually answer the question, though? Yes or no? And then he can go into any side
I
he
said
likes.
no.
Okay, I did not hear you say that. Good.
Okay.
So you're saying no, Muhammad, the name Muhammad is not mentioned in the
Correct.
Bible. Go
And
ahead.
So I want to give you a choice. All right. Would you rather continue on about the unlettered prophet being Muhammad in John 1, or do you want to see who John the Baptist says John 1 is about, which is going to go to the deity topic? Door A, door B.
Neither, because the prompt we're on is Muhammad mentioned in the Bible? And you said no.
You
and
said
I wanna,
Muhammad
can,
is
I,
the
can you not
unlettered
interrupt me now?
prophet, though.
Can you not interrupt me now?
Remember that?
Can you not interrupt me?
You remember.
Thank you. All right. So now, the prompt that we're on, which you're running to Jesus' divinity and all that stuff because you're scared of, is Muhammad mentioned in the Bible? Now, right here in Songs of Solomon, the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned. And this is not my opinion. This, again, I'm bringing Christian scholars from a lexicon that Brown, Driver, and Briggs brought together.
Okay, let's do
right?
it then.
Can I,
Is
can I, can I,
Muhammad-
can I
is-
not be interrupted?
Hold on.
Can I not be interrupted?
Hold on.
Plural or
My
singular?
question-
Here, the name Muhammad is so clearly mentioned that even in your own lexicon, it says this comes from Hamida of Arabic, and is mentioned Muhammad Dim. Now, Dim, even though it has a institution of being plural, but Elohim doesn't mean that there are multiple gods, that majesty and honor. Ephraim, the younger son of Joseph, also has that im. It is a majestic plural. And just like the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible, cannot be translated into the overall lovely, because, for example, the word name Avery means the king of the elves. But I'm not going to go and say the king of the elves was debating me, right? Just like David is the most beloved. Emmanuel, God is with us. Elijah, God is my Yah. And Daniel, God is my judge. All of those have meanings, but they are names. And that is why the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in the Bible by name.
Could you read
Thank
Song
you.
of Song 516 and replace the word that you're saying should be Muhammad and read out Muhammad when you read it?
Okay. My mouth is most sweet. He is altogether lovely, which is Muhammad. He is my beloved, and he is my friend.
Just
Yes.
the phrase, just the word. Don't add a new phrase.
Muhammad. I was just
Okay,
reading.
what word are you replacing it with, though?
Lovely.
Okay,
The
so
most lovely.
So can you say it how it would be read if the original word that's translated here, the translators are wrong about? You're saying there should be Muhammad. Could you read it? And
Okay.
Put his name in there.
His mouth is most sweet. He is altogether Muhammad. That is his name that I've just read for you now. He is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem.
All right. So who's talking here?
Again, do you want me to
I just asked
get
you a
into
question.
it?
Who is speaking here in Song of Song 5?
According to biblical sources, and I have brought this together, this is a prophecy about the prophet that is to come.
Is speaking in Song of Song 516? Who is the one speaking? I didn't ask you what it was. I didn't ask you for a literary classification of the genre. I asked you who was speaking. Do you know?
This is a love song that is written as a parable for the prophet to come.
Whose
And
wife is
something-
this?
Again, this is not an actual wife and husband. It is a prophetic.
whoa. You said it's-
Can I speak, or am I just going to be cut off?
He's running
then?
the line. He's asking you a
Okay,
question.
I'll let you go ahead with the
Who's
line
the wife?
first.
Okay. You're saying this is not in Song of Solomon. This isn't Solomon's wife?
Can you continue? Is that a question?
That's a question. In
This
Song
is
of
the-
Solomon,
this
this
is the-
ain't Solomon's wife?
Is it?
Can
the
I
wife or
finish?
Is it not?
But can you answer
It
instead
is
of
not.
filibuster?
It is a parable. It is a reference. It is not an actual love song. This is mystical symbolism, as your own Christian study Bible, the Orthodox and Study Bible points out that.
Can you read 1:1?
A mystical symbolism is involved in a highly figurative language. It is included in the Old Testament to be explained from the prophetic figure of the Lord as the husband. So this
Please
is
read
referring.
Song of Song
Can I not
1:1.
get
Hold on,
interrupted?
let him
Please
finish.
read Song
Can
of
I not
Song
get
1:1.
interrupted?
Just read it.
Let's
if you don't
finish.
mind.
I thought you were closing, but go ahead.
I
finish
was
your thought.
closing if you had let me finish. So this is a mystic symbolism for the prophet is going to be referenced as the husband, not Solomon himself.
Can you read? That's not what that says. Can you read Song of
I
Song
just
1:1?
read it, quote unquote.
It doesn't
Go
say
ahead.
anything about Muhammad in there. Can you
Again,
read Song of Song?
I did not say it said anything
Please
about
read-
Muhammad.
You
What
just did.
what
If you close the book.
I did
All right.
not. The
Can you
prophetic
please- okay.
figure is what I
I'm gonna
said.
respond to what he
I'm
said.
glad it's
Listen,
being recorded.
We're very
Please
tight on
read
time right
Song
now.
of Song 1:1.
The Song of Songs, which is Solomon.
Whose?
Solomon.
Whose?
If you're done with the theatrics, I'll continue.
Okay, so no, because you spoke, so I'm responding
Okay, go
by
ahead.
reading context. You're telling us, as a Muslim, who you're not a biblical scholar,
I am
you
not.
don't know Hebrew because it's plural. That's a problem for you. You think you can just transpose Arabic with Hebrew? You cannot. You ran to this because you thought it was a strong place, and I was okay with that. This is Solomon's wife. Why is Solomon's wife telling him how fine Muhammad is?
Great question.
it
Now,
is.
let me answer.
And
as-
here's what we're going to do. For purposes of time, we're going to let you respond, and then we're going to do a closing and a closing, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again,
She says this.
no, I'm here all night if you want to be here. Don't think you got nothing on
I
me.
thought you had the
Yeah.
out at 4.
I do have an
Okay.
appointment, but that doesn't mean I'm running from his time-wise. Don't be.
That's what the wife said to
Yeah.
Solomon. I'm here all
Yeah.
night, not Muhammad.
Okay. Once again, as clearly mentioned in your own Christian study Bible, this is not a literal poem back and forth. Rather, it is, and I did not say that it said Muhammad, he lied about me again, but the mystical symbolism is involved here in a highly figurative language. Figurative language. The inclusion of the Old Testament is to be explained from the prophetic figure of the Lord as the husband, not Solomon, as the prophetic
Muhammad.
figure of the Lord, right? And this is again mentioned from many different sources that you can see that this was actual figurative language. It's telling you about the prophet that is to come, and the actual name Muhammad is in there. Actually, I showed it to you from
All
the
right.
Bible.
In-
So
In verse
th-
16,
there's again. Okay,
in
go
verse
ahead.
16,
Go ahead.
who are the daughters of Jerusalem in relationship to Muhammad there?
Is this your clothing?
Yeah,
Because-
we're going to
no.
move to
no.
closings
Yeah.
now.
So it
I'm
says, "This
waiting
is
for-
my beloved and my
Okay.
friend."
Build it
Okay,
into
and it
your...
says, "O daughters of Jerusalem." The last question, if you could answer, who are the
Are
daughters
we
of
doing
Jerusalem?
closings or are we doing questions back? Because I'm going to
Why
ask
are you
you
looking
then.
to the
Build
woman?
it. I'm
Who
asking
is?
because
Who
I
are
already
the
don't-
daughters?
declared-
don't
Stop,
degrade her by
stop.
calling
We
her
don't
a
have
woman.
time for this, gentlemen.
Who are the daughters of
Cap,
Jerusalem?
build it into your closing, please.
Okay, if you answer,
Tell
I'll
them who the-
build it right on. Who
tell
are the
them who-
daughters of Jerusalem?
I'm waiting for your closing statement.
Build it in. Tell,
Okay.
Say who the daughters
That's
are.
fine. That's fine. Because daughters of Jerusalem were not big fans of Muhammad. I'll just say that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, because that's verse 16 that you brought us to. So it shows
Okay.
your reading is absolutely acontextual. So here's my closing statement. I started off destroying you in MacArthur, your own source, about textual variants. That was strike one. Then what happened is I went to done and showed you how done refers to Christians worshiping Jesus and even mentions a specific verse. That was strike two. You're done, just like done. 3, you ran from the question that you set yourself up with about the unlettered prophet because you knew you were in a box. You affirmed the unlettered prophet was Muhammad, but I was leading you down the path, dog walking you, and you didn't want it to happen. So you ran to Song of Song 5:16, which you thought you were safe in. But then when we got there, you had to answer all kinds of questions, and you couldn't, so you did this. And that's my closing statement. Thanks for the Quran, by the way.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cab. Go ahead to you.
Your theatrics are cute, but they're not academic. Again, the prompt was, is the name Muhammad clearly mentioned in the Quran? And you ran from it. You tried to go for John here and there. You never answered the question until you were put on the spot. And when you were put on the spot and you had to say no, I showed you from your own lexicon the name Muhammad is clearly mentioned in your Bible. And this is a commentary of the own Christian Bible saying that this is the prophetic figure that is to come. That is who's being spoken about as husbands. And when you talk about the daughters of Jerusalem hating Muhammad, that is absolute just something you pull out of the air with no evidence
The
at
one
all.
who poisoned
Like,
Lycum?
can I thank you?
Cap.
Yeah.
Come on now.
The daughters of Jerusalem didn't come together and poison anybody. Now, regarding
Just one.
MacArthur,
Cab. Please.
It's a great line. and
regarding
it's true.
Please.
regarding your little theatrics, it's cute but not academic. Again, you've been proven wrong. The prompt has been proven in front of your face that the name Muhammad is mentioned. I already addressed the issue of plural, and you just skipped over it because you knew that you had no response from it. Elohim doesn't mean many gods, right? Again, Ephraim doesn't mean that the younger son of Joseph was more than one person. That is honor and glory that is used in the Hebrew language, not the Arabic. I didn't just bring it into Arabic. Now, MacArthur, since you brought it up, still shows there are errors in the Bible. Just because he has a different view on what he feels can be corrected doesn't mean that it is. Those scribal errors still stand in the Bible in front of me today and in front of you as well. And even with Dunn, you went to an earlier chapter where he's discussing, but you skipped over his conclusion, which I'd already commented, because you are the one running from it. Thank you.
If you learned anything from this episode or got any value at all, please share this episode with a friend. It helps us grow the channel, it helps us grow the podcast, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much.